iHeart, get ready. Fantasy football is here. Welcome to the Scout Fantasy Show. ScoutFantasy.com is home to the Fantasy Football World Championships and the best players in the world. Real money winners giving their secrets to help you win. Now exclusively on iHeart. This is the Scout Fantasy Show with your host, the one, the only, Dr. Roto.
Hey there, everybody. It's Dr. Roto. Get out the insurance cards. Get out the copay. The office is open, my friends. Going to do a little DFS, PGA DFS podcast here. Jack's Tournament, the Memorial, Dublin, Ohio. Not Dublin, Ireland. Dublin, Ohio. And this is a crazy tournament. This tournament has some big, big names. Now, what's interesting about this tournament, to me, I think it's really good practice for the U.S. Open. Because there's a lot of good players who play, and I want a piece of all of them. But DraftKings is cleverer than I, because they've got a thing where you can get $100,000 for just a $5 entry. How cheap is that? What a bargain. Thank you, DraftKings. You're so good to me. No, you're not, because you can put in 150 entries. So here's the problem. Okay? I'm not good at math. 150 times 5 is $750. Most pros will put in $750 to win this tournament. I kid you not. That's what they're going to do. Okay? Now, DraftKings goes, if you want to do the 3-entry max, well, there's only going to be 1,400 teams, but you can win a lot less money. So they throw the big number out there, the $500K, which gets everybody excited, including me, because you know I love to piss money away on the donkey. For $5, I can win myself $100K. Well, that's true. There's truth to that. But at the same time, it's not going to be easy. There's another 20-entry max here. Once again, 19,000 people. The highest is $2,500. $2,500 doesn't wake me up in the morning. I mean, it does, but I want $100K. But I'll tell you this, if you do the $100K tournament, please, I beg you, don't go in there with 2 teams. You got to go in there with 10 or 20 teams to give yourself a fighting chance. Because if I have 150 teams, that's 150 permutations. Now, the important thing is this. I've got my teams lined up here. Before I do anything, I need to make sure that I'm slightly contrarian. Because I can't have a team that everybody else is going to have. Okay? Because these are easy to make, these teams, because the pricing's soft. So here, I'll do one for you quickly. Well, there's Tiger, right? And, Stenson's good. And, I heard Patrick Reed is good because it's like Augusta. Oh, I'll get DeChambeau in there. I like that dude. I heard a lot about Ryan Moore. A lot of experts are talking about him. $7,300. I'll take a shot on, JB Holmes. Boom, I did that team in 2 seconds. Literally 2 seconds. That's a good team. Tiger could win. Stenson could win. Reed could certainly win. DeChambeau, really good. Ryan Moore, solid player. JB Holmes, my only risky pick. JB Holmes does well. This team could make money. It shouldn't take me 10 seconds to do a team. When it takes you 10 seconds to do a team, it means the pricing is very tough. So you're going to have to do something different. You're going to have to be outside the box just a little bit. You will. So here's my outside of the box thinking in this tournament. I'm probably fading most of the guys up top. Dustin Johnson, I'm going to fade. Jason Day, I'm fading. Rory, I'm fading. Rose, I'm definitely fading. I will either play Justin Thomas or Spieth. Jordan Spieth is going to win this tournament or the U.S. Open. Don't know which one. I'm thinking it's going to be Shinnecock Hills. I think he's going to win the U.S. Open, so I probably won't play him here. It means I'm probably going to look at Justin Thomas as my one expensive guy. I don't see it for the other guys, and it's a lot of money to spend not to see it. And I don't need to go stars and scrubs this week with Johnson and Thomas and a bunch of cheap guys. I can do it, but I don't think I need to do it. I don't hate Ricky Fowler. He's always capable of being good. I know I want a piece of Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods has won this tournament a couple of times, and he's playing well. I definitely need a piece of Tiger. Now, I'm only going to play probably 15 or 20 lineups this week, so I'll probably have Tiger on about 5 of them, maybe 6. I want a piece of Tiger going into this weekend. Now, how can you be contrarian? Well, this is how. So let's look at a pocket of players. Tiger at 9,400, Stenson 92, Matsuyama at 91, Leishman at 9,000, Reed at 8,900. Tiger is never contrarian. So let's just get that out of your minds. Stenson could be slightly contrarian because he hasn't played this course in about 4 years. Matsuyama is slightly contrarian because he's been injured. Leishman is certainly not contrarian. People know how good he is, and Patrick Reed just won the Masters. So if I'm trying to be contrarian in this dollar amount, I will lean towards Stenson and Matsuyama. Go down in the next grouping. Bubba Watson, 8,700. Adam Scott, 8,600. Matt Kuchar, 8,500. Grillo, 8,400. Phil Mickelson, 8,300. Well, Bubba could be a little contrarian because he hasn't played great recently, but he's played well here. Adam Scott could be slightly contrarian because he hasn't won the big one here. Matt Kuchar is never contrarian because everybody knows he's a cut maker. And Grillo's the hottest golfer right now. He's certainly not contrarian. And Phil is never contrarian because every idiot out there who's never played golf a day in his life knows Phil Mickelson. So once again, maybe you need to be on Scott. Maybe you need to be on Bubba. I'm not telling you do that on every team, but I'm telling you want to do that on a couple of teams. Let's go down some more. Charles Schwartzel, 8,200. Always contrarian. Tony Finau, a lot of people are liking him. Duffner, Chesson Hadley, Aaron Weiss, Byung-Hung An, right? Alfie Barnrat, DeChambeau. DeChambeau, certainly not contrarian. Everybody knows him. An, little contrarian. Wise, just won a tournament. Hadley, playing hot. Duffner, won last year. Now, I rarely play the guy who won last year at this tournament because idiots don't know anything. What do? Who won last year? Duffner. I'm playing him. Right? Can't play it. Can't go with guys like that. So where do you distinguish yourself? It's got to be somewhere in the middle. Right? That next grouping. Chucky Howell III, Kevin Na, Kyle Stanley, Danny Lee. I haven't heard anybody talk about Shane Lowry. Maybe he's interesting. Came in 15th here last year and did pretty well last week. I might be interested. That to me is a little contrarian. I don't love Lowry, but I know everybody's going to be on DeChambeau and Charles Howell III. So I might have to be, pen click, get myself a little bit of Shane Lowry action. Now, I don't love Shane Lowry, but I do think he is contrarian. Adam Hadwin, not contrarian. People know him. Patrick Cantlay, very contrarian because he sucked last week. See, never forget this. And I'll this will stick in my memory probably the rest of my life or until I can't remember things anymore. But I remember doing a show with Tommy G when Andy Dalton literally threw for like 120 yards and 5 interceptions. And Tommy G said, "Doc, you know who I'm playing next week?" I said, "Who?" He goes, "Andy Dalton." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Absolutely Andy Dalton. I'm all in on him." I said, "You're crazy." He goes, "Exactly. He's going to be owned by 2% of the people." Sure enough, Andy Dalton the next week gets 220 yards and 3 touchdowns. Tommy G had him at like 2% owned. You have to have a short memory in DFS. Patrick Cantlay was disgusting last week. I get it. I know it. I had him. I'll play him. Cameron Smith, disgusting last week. I get it. I know it. Contrarian. Can I tell you something here? There are 118,906 entries in this $100,000 contest. Do you think you shouldn't be contrarian? You absolutely should be. You have to be. Rory Sabatini, not contrarian. Anybody who's played well the last 2 weeks, not contrarian. Now, there's contrarian and there's stupid. We never want to be stupid. but we need to be contrarian. What I tend to do is I look at people who win and I go, how do they have that guy? And a lot of times I'm convinced it's somebody who has 100 teams who literally plays every permutation. So what the people do is, right, they'll take 3 guys. And I tend to do this as well, and most people I think should. You get your core. So for argument's sake, let's just say it's Patrick Reed, Tiger Woods, and Kuchar. And I put that on as many teams as possible. So let me see if I could do that. Patrick Reed, Tiger Woods, and Kuchar. One moment, please. Okay, there we go. Now I've got $23,200 left. I literally take those 3 guys, and here I'll do DeChambeau, I'll do Chucky Sticks, and I'll come back with Hadley. Boom, that's one team. So Woods, Kuchar, Reed, DeChambeau, Howell, Hadley. Get rid of this team. Take those last 3 out. Same 3, I'll go DeChambeau again. This time I'll go Shane Lowry to be contrarian, and I'll get myself, Duffner because I'm an idiot. So I still kept Woods, Kuchar, Reed, added DeChambeau, changed Lowry, and Duffner. Next. And I do that 100 times. Maybe not with the same 3 core, but I have different cores, and I rotate them. Woods, Kuchar, Reed. Woods, Kuchar, Bubba. Woods, Kuchar, Reed, Kuchar, Bubba. Bubba, Kuchar, Woods. You just keep on doing that. Well, it can make you crazy if you do it by hand, like old-timers like myself do. But if you go to a computer program and pop it in, it'll spit it all out. And that's what happens. These guys can go in with their algorithms, type in their thing, press a button, and you can get it. I promise you that. One of the best sites who has one is fantasygolfinsider.com. Greatest site out there. Boom, you put on your guys, what percentage you want, you click a button, it spits them out. Hundreds of lineups for you. And then you could tweak them as you want. Right? But you got to be careful. You've got to have your core. Find your core and then rotate around your core. That's the best advice I can give you. Know who your core is going to be, who your sleepers are, and work around them. But I'll tell you this, when I do my lineups, I always have a feeling on a guy or two. So, for example, this week, I just have a feeling about Ricky Fowler. So even though I don't love Ricky Fowler, I'm going to put him on like 2 lineups out of 15 just because I like Ricky. And I want a piece of him. Right? I just know I want a piece of Ricky Fowler. And occasionally that lineup is one for me. I know it won for me with Webb Simpson a few weeks ago. I had Webb on like 2 lineups out of 20. And when Webb went off, boom, I had him. And I won. So when playing multiple lineups allows you to have that feeling. Oh, I got that feeling about this guy. Let me take a shot on him. Boom. Right? Phil Mickelson, gonna have a good week this week. Let me take a shot on Phil. Boom. I'll say this. You better have the winner in your lineup. If you don't have the winner, you're not winning money. So whatever your lineup is, you better make sure you have the winner. Because otherwise, you may cash and get a couple of bucks, but you'll never be my rich friend. You will never be my rich friend in PGA DFS without the winner. You need the winner. So when you're putting your lineups together, ask yourself, can these guys win? If they can't, don't put them in your lineup. If the guy can't win, I don't want him. Unless you're doing a stars and scrubs and you're just getting a couple of guys there to make some cuts for you. And I'm okay with that. But if you did that, you probably have Dustin Johnson and Jordan Spieth, and you think one of those guys is going to win. You need the winner. A few years ago, I was in the Open Championship, a.k.a. the British Open, and I was 3rd overall going into the last day. And I think I had like 1, 2, 4, 8, 11, 20 or something like that. That's the places, the guys I had. I had 6 guys in the top 20, including the winner. You have to have the guy who wins. If you have the guy who wins, you can win. All right. Other last things before we go. Some players I like deep in the mix here for not too much money to take a shot on. I would take a look at J.B. Holmes. I'd take a look at Bud Cauley. I'd take a look at Peter Uihlein. I'd take a look at Keenan Bradley. William McGirt won this 2 years ago. I don't hate him. Streelman, Tway. These are guys at the end. Gary Woodland, too good a player for $6,900. I'll probably have him on a team or two. Maybe Satoshi Kodaira. I like him too. This guy's a pretty good player. David Lingmerth has won this tournament before. Seems to always play well here. He can always have a good round, but then again, he can blow up and get an 80 and kill you. So if you're doing stars and scrubs, those are some of the scrubs that I like towards the end. Okay? But do your research, take your time, do your best, and I'm rooting for you. But right now it's time to put away the insurance cards, put away the copay. The office is closed, my friends. Check out all the information on scoutdfs.com. Also, scoutfantasysports.com, where you find me, Sean Childs, and Adam Ronis. And, of course, play FFWC. You can do an online championship draft. There's a slow online championship draft. I think there's like 4 or 5 spots open. Check it out. Best payouts in the industry. Play FFWC.com. This is Dr. Roto saying be well, take care.
Thanks for listening to the Scout Fantasy Show. There's never been a better time to join the Scout Army. Visit scoutfantasy.com. Use the promo ROTO for 2 months free. And don't forget, fantasy players, please thumbs up the podcast on the iHeart app. See you next time. Go Scouts!